Planned Parenthood Black community tweeted this morning, if you are a Black woman in America, it's statistically safer to have an abortion than to carry a pregnancy to term or give birth.
A third abortion facility starts its operation in Missouri as a result of a joint effort between Planned Parenthood and the Satanic Temple. This after Missouri lawmakers introduced new requirements to abortion clinics this summer, including annual state health inspections. Missouri law requires abortion clinics to meet the same standards as surgical centers, as well as for the doctors to have hospital privileges. The measure also requires a 72-hour waiting period for women seeking the procedure.
I'm elected by about 32 to 35,000 people. They knew up front that I was pro-life, and so that's one where I drew a line in the sand initially, and so that's the hill that I'd probably die on, and there's no compromise.
These regulations meet fierce resistance from Planned Parenthood and the Satanists, who seek to expand abortion services in Missouri. Despite strict pro-life regulations, Missouri has tripled its abortion capacity since the summer of 2016, when the first anti-abortion bills passed the Missouri State Assembly. The Satanic Temple battles the regulations, saying abortion restriction violates its members' right to free religious practice.
So we just have 7 tenets, and they're rather humanistic and straightforward. They're the third tenet that states the body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone, and that we should defer to scientific fact the best we can. Those have really been the basis of our claims against abortion restrictions.
Satanic Temple has been involved in lawsuits opposing pro-life laws for years in Missouri, claiming they are fighting for women's rights. However, Satanism has long history of child sacrifice, which can be traced back to the pre-Christian cult of Baal. Also known as Moloch and Beelzebub, or Lord Baal, this ancient deity is associated with the devil. Parts of ancient Palestine and Carthage practiced the cult of Baal, which was ultimately wiped out by the Israelites and the Roman military, ending gruesome practices of mass murder of children. Today, worshippers of Satan are backing a wider expansion of Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics, which falls in line with their practices.
Here at the abortion mill, you really cannot pray without understanding that babies are being slaughtered here, babies are being dismembered here, and so to pray to end abortion, I really think you need to come and experience what's going on.
On its part, Planned Parenthood filed its latest lawsuit against Missouri Tuesday, targeting the 72-hour waiting period before abortion could be performed. The organization claims this regulation forces women into making 2 trips to an abortion clinic, facing the obstacle of driving long distances. The abortion standoff in Missouri reflects the continued onslaught of the globalist regressive left against both Middle America and Christianity. It's an attempt to dismantle core American values by means of abortion clinics and mass migration.
Planned Parenthood Black community tweeted this morning, if you are a Black woman in America, it's statistically safer to have an abortion than to carry a pregnancy to term or give birth. Hashtag scary stats. Safer for whom? The baby who dies? The mother who is a mother but now has a dead baby? The Black community, where in some places over 50% of pregnancies end in abortion? What are you talking about? This sounds to me like Planned Parenthood is telling Black women not to have babies. Planned Parenthood is trying to scare Black women into having abortions by telling them they'll die if they try to give birth. Well, that's very empowering, isn't it? You know who else peddled a similar message telling Black women not to have babies? Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood. Well, you look at that coincidence. Margaret Sanger's goal? Eliminating Black people. That's right. The founder of Planned Parenthood was a eugenicist. Birth control, said Margaret Sanger, must lead ultimately to a cleaner race. We don't want the word to get out, Sanger said, that we want to exterminate the Negro population. So let me ask you this. Why are the only people making a fuss about this tweet conservatives? Where are the liberals who claim to champion black people and the most vulnerable among us? The most vulnerable among us are unborn babies, and Planned Parenthood is telling black women to kill them. You pro-choice, pro-woman activists, you talk about racism in our healthcare system, yet you abort 292,000 black babies every year. A black baby is aborted every 108 seconds all day long, every week of the entire year. You talk about black women being targeted and excluded because of their race, but 79% of Planned Parenthood's surgical abortion clinics are within walking distance of minority neighborhoods. Those clinics are intended to target minority women. 17 million black babies have been aborted since 1973. The current population of black people in America is only 42 million. I'd say Margaret Sanger's goal of eliminating black people through abortion is working. Only now it's 2017, and Planned Parenthood pretends they're champions of women's health, and $500 million of our tax money subsidizes their abortion business while they continue the legacy of Margaret Sanger in trying to exterminate black people through abortion.